Welcome to this little walkthrough of the Cyclical Wisdom Journal. This year we have 3 versions. The first one is a cycle companion. It is only 1 month's worth of journaling. This is a perfect companion to if you want to travel or in addition to the larger journal, if you've run out of space, it's like a little extra supplement. The second version is a 3-month. So this is the perfect version if you're just starting to journal and you want a little insight into cycle awareness without committing to a whole year. You can always upgrade to the next version if you really get stuck in, or you can carry on with 3 months, depending on your personality. And this is our Cyclical Wisdom Journal, the whole year's version. Okay, so I'm going to walk through this one and I'll show you a couple of differences between. So all have a little protective cover, keeps it nice and clean, and then we open up. The first part is just a little bit about me and my cyclical wisdom. And the subsequent pages, the first pages you'll come across are who the journal's for and how to use the journal. This is what we're going to chat about, why we go through this. The big points that I made this journal for is to set my intentions, to celebrate yourself and your achievements. Sometimes we forget to, we create beautiful to-do lists, but we don't sort of look back and say, well done, I've done this. So this is really important for our mental health. Reflection on our own patterns and unique, noticing how our cycles affect our work, our creativity, honouring ourselves. So honouring, aligning, and, looking after ourselves really, and the things that we need to do. And then also the cycle awareness and this journal helps you dig a bit deeper, understand your own strengths and weaknesses. So the top tip is before you start journaling, read a little bit about here. And this section is about why to chart your cycles. This will be in the other video of why to chart your cycles. So the key things in this journal, we have keys and symbols. Now, all these are little ideas of how you can fill in the journal. If you're not really into words and you just want to doodle, and how is your body feeling? Is it low energy, high energy, blossoming? Where is your mind? Is it scattered? Is it organized? And I've left some little spaces here that you can make up your own little keys. Emotions, where are your emotions? This little bit where the seasons are. You can write just SP for spring, or you might want to draw a little leaf. Same with the moons. And then you can little space to add your own symbols. Don't have to use these, but these are nice ideas if you want to fill in. Now the next spaces that are in both the year journal and in the 3-month journal are some information pages. We have the Wheel of the Year. This is in a South African context. So our summer is a lot longer than our winter. So it's not in a 4 corners. And also you have a information page about each phase of the cycle. And we have this for the moon, the menstrual cycle, and this page is about emotions and feelings. It says we're more than just happy, sad, or angry. There's a beautiful words to help you understand the nuances of emotions. Now, if you like working with words, you can do this. For me, I find it working easier with felt sensations. So I might not feel anxious. I might not label it as anxiety, but I might feel a bit tingly or dizzy or fidgety. So these are more sensations that we feel in the body. So this is something might want to explore as well. So read all of this information before you start. Obviously, we can always have a few blank pages to get you going. Now, the first page is when you start this journal is your intention page. It might be this year, might be you can cross that out if you just want to do it for a month. And it's, what are my goals for this year? If you're starting in the beginning of the year, it doesn't matter, like a year around. If you start this journal, you could start it in the middle of the year, so it doesn't matter. So think of it, what do I want to do in this next 12 months? So just put some bullet points down. what brings me joy? This is always a good stepping stone to know what we want to do. What do I love about myself? And what am I good at? This is all gathering information about what brings us joy, what are we good at, where do we want to be in a year's time? Now here, in a year's time, what does my ideal life look like? It might be physically doing something. It might be a feeling in the body, anything. Draw a picture. Just play around. You can use the extra space if you need. And values I aspire to live my life with. This is a really lovely thing to connect to. And also on the website, there's a list of how to understand our values and get deeper into what is it that I value and aspire to. Now, this year I want to let go of. I want to learn. I will celebrate myself by, and I will bring joy by. Could be really simple things. Doesn't have to be big. Again, more space that you can add in. Now we get into the main part of the journal, the daily journal. So the daily journal is, as you can see, there is no dates. So you can start whenever you want. The pages are divided. This is how it goes for a good 7 days until you get to the weekend. Now let's have a look at our daily. So, and this is how the journal is divided. It's divided into weeks, months, and you can skip pages if you need. It's fine if you want to rip pages out. Don't be precious. It's not something that has to be neat and perfect. So the date is blank. Put the date in. You add your cycle day. If you're charting your menstrual cycle, day 1 is the first day of your bleed. You're in a season. Go back to the reference at the beginning of how and why to chart your cycles, and also about the menstrual cycle. So to learn about what your inner season is. And the moon phase. On the website as well, there'll be an updated list of the moon phase depending on where you are as well, because especially in the southern hemisphere, different time zones, it might be a shift of days. Or that the phase might change. The new moon might fall on early hours of the next morning. So it's always good to check where you are. The physical season, it might not be spring, summer, autumn, winter. It might be rainy season. It might be monsoon, whatever that is. And also the weather. The last few weeks have been a very wet and heavy rains, and that really does affect us. So add all this information. If you are not charting your menstrual cycle, if you don't have a menstrual cycle, or your menstrual cycle is irregular, or that you don't have a menstrual cycle anymore, or you never had a menstrual cycle, you can use the moon day. So day 1 would be the first day of a new moon. So you can guide yourself through the moon, or you can use a menstrual cycle. You could do both. So the questions you can ask yourself these in any order. What am I focused on? What am I thinking about? Doesn't have to be also specifics. It might be I'm not focused on anything. My brain is scattered. It might be I'm feeling very organized at the moment. Things like that. It doesn't have to be like physical things that you're thinking about. You don't have to think too much about this actually. How is my body? What does it need today? Like, does it need to rest? Does it need to move? Does your arm hurt? Do you feel tired? Do you feel anxious? Where do you feel it in your body? This one is how do I feel? Like, what emotions am I feeling? Remember, this is quite different to what am I focusing on, because these are quite related, your mental state and your emotional state. But these are the fluctuations. What is fluctuating at the moment? What is flowing through you? What is coming up? And then this beautiful question, what do I need today? What is my intuition telling me? Like asking yourself, like you're asking a really good friend, how are you today? And answering honestly. Remember, nobody needs to see this book. And ideally you want to keep this information until you finish the journal. But should you want to burn it at the end of the year, that's also, nobody needs to see this. So be honest with yourself. Maybe a word of the day comes up. Maybe it's the color of the day. Maybe you just want to doodle in this space. And also there's a little bit of space here that you can add anything extra you need. Now we move on to the evening. So This section should probably take you about 5 minutes. I love to do this after I've done my meditation. So I do my meditation. It seems to sort a few things out and clarify and settle my energies from the day, and then I start with my journal. In the evening, this also should take you just a few moments. Just some quick points. What brought me joy today? Just 3 points. Little things. Somebody smiling, a bird in the tree, some interaction or something you've seen, And today I did. Again, this is like, instead, it's like the anti-to-do list. You're actually thinking, what did I do? And it could be really basic, like I got up, I brushed my teeth, I took a shower. On those low days, it could be something as big as this, or it could be something huge. Like it could be really, really tiny. Each of those things builds. I am grateful for. 3 things you're grateful for. It might be the things that brought you joy. It might be the same. Or it might be other things. Now, the next point is tomorrow I will. Again, don't have to think too big. When you first start the journal, think small. And then if those things the next day, when you go to the today I did, if these match up, then maybe you can make things a little bit more detailed, a little bit harder. But if you're on low energy days, having achievable goals will really help you. Noticing where you have come rather than where you're going to go. At the weekend, we don't always have as much time to journal. Maybe you do. So we don't have the evening reflections, but we have just the main points. Now we come to the week, end of the week, wherever you started your week. So generally maybe on a Sunday evening, you can sit and do some weekly reflections. What was my state of mind or focus this week? How did I love and nurture my body? How did I feel? What brought me joy and balance this week? And what inner wisdom came up? And how did I attend to my emotional needs? All amazing questions to ask yourself. If these questions aren't the questions you need to ask yourself, write your own questions down. This is your journal. The next week's intentions. This week I am grateful for. This week I am proud of myself for. So all the things that you were grateful for, what did you do that was amazing? Did you get up? Did you make your bed? And next week my intention is you will let go of, you will nurture yourself and you will celebrate yourself. How will you do those things? And then you can see this when we go to the following week. How did you do? Keep it small. Don't create too many big goals for yourself. So we go through each of the weeks. So we've got 4 different weeks until we get to the month's end. So we do all the weeks and then you get to the end of the month and you have a monthly reflection. Now you can add the dates of your cycle. If you have a menstrual cycle, you can write the length of your cycle, the season, the outer season, where you are. Now, it could be the inner winter, saying if you're the inner winter or around the new moon, you felt your challenges were and you learned. Or the next phase, the inner spring, inner summer, inner autumn, either one of those. And just add that information to see how you change around the month. Exactly the same as the weekly intentions. You can build on the weekly intentions, or you can create new monthly ones. So this is all the information for the month. On the last page, I'm going to show you is the monthly wheel. Now, this is your monthly cycle. You can fill this in as you go along. So remember your word of the day in your daily journal. You can add that here, or it might be a different word. How did you feel on each day? Now, we've got the wheel here, and you've got your moons. So you can find there's a full moon here, and there's a new moon here. If you're charting the moon phase, you'll write day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. If you have menstrual cycle, wherever it is, find wherever you start, wherever the moon is, and then start there. And there's more information about this wheel on the website with the QR code. So what you need to do is just notice all these things. It might be colors, it might be words. You might want to fill out more space in between your cycle days. If there's days that you don't fill anything in, that's also information. Did you notice shifts of energy over the days or weeks? Which days felt easy? Which days were challenging? And you can write down the dates of the full moon and new moon. All this is data collecting. We're collecting data. And then we start again. And you have a whole year to fill this in. And the same is with the 3-month journal and with the 1-month journal. So here you are, your Cyclical Wisdom Journal for this year. You can start it today. You can start it January 1st, wherever you feel. Perfect present for everyone.